Felix and Winston here, live from a beach in the south of France. It's a glorious morning. What do you buy and sell when the recession comes? Well, first of all, if you put a comment in the chat down below in the first 30 minutes of this video, you can win stuff like Apple TVs. We've got another one to give away, $800 subscription to our newsletters, and much, much more. And Winston seems rather excited by that. Okay, the first thing is, and this is not financial advice, not customized to you in any way, shape or form. You buy long treasuries now. So you buy like 10, 20, 30 year treasury bonds now, not ETFs, but actually treasuries. And when the Fed starts cutting rates, so say the rates go down by 1%, a 10-year bond should in theory give you a 10% return on that. But only once the Fed really starts cutting rates. While they're still raising them, the bonds will lose some value. But I've been buying these since the end of last year because you can never time these things quite right, and they can make you, in theory, a very decent return. And that's also where money's leaving the stock market, quite frankly, and small banks on that note, because you can, in theory, get these very significant returns with bonds over the next year or so if we are right on interest rates being cut. The second thing would be buy utilities, possibly. You could short US tech. Why? Because there's so much money in that already. It might be an over allocation. You might get revenue cuts in the earnings for US tech, for European luxury. So I would be short on that too. I wouldn't short LVMH. I think that's probably a foolish move. Industrials, defense stocks, all of those then generally don't do very well in recessions. So you can go shortish on those. I'll explain in a second how I do that, because I don't short. Once we come out of this recession, so once we are in the recession deep, and it starts to look like maybe things are about to pick up, well, typically you want to pick up the stuff that suffered the most. So look at Winston in his sunbath. You'd be buying REITs, possibly high yield bonds, commodities, and small caps. They tend to do well after a recession is over, not very well going into a recession. So that's a little bit of a shopping list to give you some ideas. But of course, as I say, don't just blindly do it. Think about it, plan it, research it. If you've been watching me inside our community, then you know we've been setting up options trades on exactly these kind of things. We've also been buying bonds since October last year or something like that. It's done pretty well. And we do it by essentially, imagine using like $1,000 and potentially getting a 30% return if the market moves 2% in your direction. And we do that with leverage, but we use options for it, which means our risk is much, much lower than if you just bought the stocks. And I know that's a hard thing to get your head around, but that's the marvelousness of options. You can get higher returns with lower risk. It's just that. If you know how to use it, it really is. So come and check out how we do that. You can watch me live trade every week. There's two ways of joining that. There is a master options course, links down below, where you get 100 lessons. You get to watch me trade live every week. If you really want to take it more seriously and say you have a 5-figure portfolio or more, then simply go to felixfranz.org/coaching and just have a chat with us, because me and a group of former investment bankers with like 100 years institutional trading experience between us, we teach you how Wall Street actually trades. None of this made for retail, dumbed down nonsense that you see so much about, but actually how the pros do it. And if you want to learn those strategies and have unlimited one-on-one calls and much, much more, go to felixfranz.org/coaching. And Winston and me say thanks for tuning in. You want to see the beach? It's probably a little bit glary, but it's a lovely little beach that we go to in the morning. Now it's just a little bit hot, and Winston's had a lovely swim, and he's been chasing a dried pomegranate that we found, and a few frogmen came out of the water. Quite seriously, French frogmen came out of the water. You can't make this stuff up, can you? Winston is saying enjoy your day as much as we are, and thanks for tuning in.